Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I came with an interesting story. If you want to hear an exciting story and get a good experience in your life, stay with me until the end of the video. I am William, 45 years old, America. I am a truck driver, and this happened to me years ago when I was supposed to take a load around San Antonio. That day I had loaded a load from a warehouse so that I could walk from there to the destination. Before that, I took the car to a repair shop in the same area to show it to check so that there is no problem. When I arrived at the repair shop, there was an old man who was working there. I went to greet him and said, "Look at the car so that I can move safely." The old man, despite his age, was patient and spoke to me warmly from the beginning. He asked which road I was going to take, and I said I was going to the village around San Antonio. In response, he said that this road you are going to take is different from other roads. I asked, what is the difference? What is going to happen? Are there thieves and bandits? He said, no, it's not these things at all, my son. I don't want to scare you, but as far as I've heard from the people here over the years, interesting things don't happen on that road at night. Everyone has seen strange things and escaped, and in other cases, a strange weight has come into their lives, after which they always look for a doctor to treat themselves. I didn't believe in these things at that time, and I thought to myself that this old man was saying something stupid because of his old age and superstitions. It even seemed ridiculous to me, and I said with a laugh, "Sir, are you delusional? Should I take a night off from my work and life for these nonsense words? I pray and put my trust in God and move." The old man did not calm down at all with my words and kept insisting that I should not leave that road at night, but I did not pay any attention to his words. I said that I can't deliver the cargo late. The owner won't accept it and won't pay me. In short, the argument continued like this, but I didn't stop. In the meantime, he took a general look at the car and said that there is no problem. When I wanted to pay for his wages, he said that now that you are so insistent, go, but remember that if you see anything there tonight, don't pay attention and quickly pass by, which I also accepted, and then I thanked and left. When I was walking towards San Antonio, it was almost dusk, and it was getting dark when I entered the road. The road was a little quieter than I expected. It was clear that no one was driving there, especially at this time of the day. The further I went, the atmosphere was getting heavier. I had been doing this for several years, and before that I had driven many times at night, but in none of those times I felt so heavy. I said to myself, why should the road be so quiet? They were going to give me good money for it, and now that I was going by myself, I understood why they were going to pay me such a high fare. This road must be dangerous. At that time, I remembered my wife and my children, and that's why I started praying to God and looked more carefully at the road and continued on my way. I prayed that I would be able to safely deliver this load to its owner. As I continued a little, I saw that the weather was completely dark. Unfortunately, that heavy feeling was still with me. The atmosphere there was even heavier than at the beginning. Also, a few minutes after I continued walking, there were some unusual shadows in the dirt corners of the road. I was visibly shocked. In all the years that I used to go through these roads at night, I had never come across anything like this. Those shadows with those strange shapes were standing suspiciously on the side of the road, as if they were standing and looking at me. In a few hundred meters around that road, no animal was visible, and it was not possible that these shadows were for an animal. It was very strange. That old man knew something. He said, "Don't go." Friends, if you have liked the video so far, like it. Let's go to continue the story. I was in these thoughts before the fear came to me. I remembered the previous times that I have moved a lot at night, and I gave myself hope that I should not be afraid because of the old man's words. and therefore, without paying attention to those shadows, I pressed my feet more on the gas, and I moved so that if I had seen something due to a vision error or an illusion, I would no longer see it. The night was very dark, and I could only see by the light of the car light that lit up the road up to 1 or 2 meters away. It wasn't long before I saw a young man standing by the side of the road. In addition to his beard and long hair, that man was wearing a bright and long dress that resembled the dress of dervishes. Seeing him, I was shocked and said, "What is this man doing on this road with his strange appearance?" At this moment I remembered the words of that old man who said to continue on your way regardless of what you see on the road. But on the other hand, I thought that that servant of God might need help at this time of the night. So I slowed down and parked the car on the side of the road so that he could come and get on it. It was clear on the face of that handsome man that he was surprised that I had given him a ride. I asked him, "Where are you going at this time of night?" He said that our house is in a village ahead of here. He was a very quiet and peaceful person. On the way, as we were going, I asked him to introduce himself. He said, "I am Noah. I am happy." I also told him my name and asked again, "Excuse me, what are you doing here at night?" He said that a problem has arisen between us and another people who are close to us, and that's why they sent me to resolve it. I said, "So the flow of this Mr. Noah, those of you who live in this area, have you heard that they say that things happen on this road at night?" After my question, he thought for a few minutes and was silent, and after a few minutes he just said, "No, I haven't heard of it." His answer was strange to me, as if he didn't care what others said about this road. There was silence in those moments, especially when I asked him about that road. He became very quiet and silent. He even unusually looked out of the car window. He was looking outside and was just staring. If I had seen him anywhere else before, talking to Noah, this model staring somewhere, I would definitely have thought that he was crazy or sick. I didn't pay much attention and said that there are probably many problems. What does his life have to do with me? As I continued walking for a while, I realized that I was tired and my eyes were getting sleepy. That's why I stopped to drink a coffee from Flax in the car on the side of the road and offered to Noah, who said, "No, I won't eat anything." During the night, Noah's behavior became more strange and unusual the further we went. In short, after drinking the coffee, I saw that my eyes are still a little sleepy and I can't drive properly, so I told Noah that I should sleep a little and then we will continue on the road again. Noah, who only had his eyes out of the window and was hardly able to answer, said that there is no problem, they can wait longer. So much so that my eyes were sleepy, without paying attention to Noah's words, without asking him who he meant by what he said, who was going to wait. I leaned on the chair and fell asleep. Honestly, I don't know how many minutes I slept, but after a while I heard a voice I heard it outside because I was going to sleep for a while and wake up. I was in the mood for the sound around me. That sound was very strange and it didn't sound like the sound of any animal that wants to be near that road. So I slowly opened my eyes to see what happened. When I woke up and saw that Noah was not in the car, I was surprised and asked where he went at this time of night on this dark road. I looked outside the car to see where he went and what he was doing. When I looked around the car, I didn't see anything. That's why I said to go down and smoke a cigarette. I will find this Noah and let's move and go. In short, I got out of the car and lit a cigarette. I heard that strange voice coming again. When I saw that Noah was not there, I started shouting, "Noah, where are you? We want to move." I shouted the same way several times, but I didn't hear any answer from Noah, and that strange voice was getting louder. Honestly, I was a little scared that there is no news of Noah and the voice of a predatory animal that I did not know what it is coming, I was afraid to go after him, and on the one hand, my conscience did not agree to leave it without coordination and continue on my way. Friends, if you find yourself in this situation, write what you would do in the comments. I will definitely read it. In short, I decided to carefully follow that sound and find Noah and see what was going on. I stepped with fear in the darkness. The sound got louder, and the further I went, the more unusual and scary it became. I took a few steps away from the statue. I saw a person when I got closer. Despite the little light that was there, I saw that Noah was there. It was as if he was talking to someone, and I went forward to call him. Suddenly I saw a very thin and tall creature in front of Noah. The creature was so tall that it unnaturally lowered its neck to talk to Noah. At the same time, they noticed my presence, and I saw that the creature suddenly turned its head and stared at me. The creature had vertical yellow eyes like the eyes of a cat. I was terrified after seeing that scene, and quickly ran to the car without pausing. On the way, I was just praying to God to reach the car early and to run away quickly. When I got near the car, there was no more sound. I even remember that when I looked behind me, it was as if there was no sign of them anymore, and it was as if both Noah and that scary creature had disappeared. I quickly went and sat in the car. I could not understand what I had seen. Believe me, I was always thinking about where that creature came from, and I doubted whether Noah is a human being or not. I was in these thoughts when I suddenly turned around and looked at the right window of the car. I saw a little girl with yellow eyes standing like a scary creature and looking at me. When I saw that child, fear came to me again, and without any pause, I quickly started the car and left. I put myself on the gas as I was speeding to get away from that scary place. On the way, I was cursing myself for not listening to that old man and coming to this dangerous road at night. I was driving at the same speed when suddenly the car broke down and stopped in the middle of the road. I got more scared and tried again to start the car, but unfortunately it was useless and I didn't know what to do anymore. The car had stopped near an old castle, and I was feeling extremely heavy as I was hearing whispers at that moment as it was getting louder and louder until it hit the car with stones. I was kind of scared. The stones were very big, and as they hit the car and the car window with high speed and intensity, I didn't even know where these stones were being thrown at the car. I said to myself that if it continues like this, all the windows of the car will be crushed. That's why I decided to get down from the car and run away quickly so that I can find someone and to get help. When I got off and tried to run away, I noticed that there were sounds like fights coming from inside that castle. I started running, and at the same time I suddenly saw something that I could not forget until now. I saw that we were facing each other. Scary creatures of short height with very big heads and yellow eyes moved towards that castle quickly. Seeing that scene, my fear increased 100-fold, and I hurriedly went to a hill to take shelter. When I reached that hill, the noise of fighting inside the castle was much louder. It was heard. I was sitting and constantly praying to my God. Not a few minutes passed when some of those scary creatures came behind my hill and stood next to me. One of them came forward and told me, "How dare you come to our territory? Get out of here." After that, I thought of running away. I saw all those creatures from inside the castle reach me with the speed of light. They had clubs or sticks in their hands, and they started beating me without delay until they reached me. When I looked, when I looked at their faces, I could see that their looks had become more terrifying, and as they were hitting me, they were screaming loudly. Their blows were so heavy and intense that I did not understand anything after a few minutes, and I fainted. In short, after a few hours, when I woke up, I saw that the weather had cleared up. When I wanted to get up, my body was hurting a lot. There was no more noise, scary creatures, and stone throwing. While I was looking for the car, I suddenly saw Noah nearby, and he came to me. He came to me and said, "Hello, how are you?" I was surprised to see him. I thanked him and asked him about the events of last night, and he said that we are from the Muslim tribe, and as I said last night, our tribe is with an infidel tribe nearby. They were in trouble, and because of last night, I wanted to go to the infidel tribe and talk to them and stop this conflict, and since the owner of the enemy tribe had placed a spell there, I could not go there alone until you came and rode me. You did, but unfortunately when I arrived, it was too late, and both tribes had entered the war, and fortunately last night our tribe defeated the infidel tribe by killing the sorceress and forced them to retreat. After hearing Noah's words, I was very surprised. He then gave me a piece of stone and said that from now on you should carry this stone with you wherever you want to go so that you will not be threatened by any more danger. He apologized and then we said goodbye and he left. When I got near the car, I saw that all the windows were broken because of last night's attacks. It was damaged and I couldn't deliver the cargo on time. At the same time, my eyes fell on a bunch of dollars in the car. It was a lot of money, even more than the money that the owner of the cargo was supposed to give me next. After thinking for a while, I realized that this money was from Noah and his tribe, and it was to compensate for the damage to the car because nothing worse happened last night. I thanked God and started walking. I will continue the journey, and even though this time it went well, I decided not to go down that road again. Friends, this story is based on reality. I hope you like it. In the next video, I put the war crimes of Japan's 731st Unit. I highly recommend you to see it.